Welcome. Today's practice is a practice for the desk-bound, cross-training for techies or anyone who sits around a lot on the computer at a desk doing their thing. We'll start off in a comfortable seated position. Sweep your legs to the left and place your left shin, the middle of your left shin, somewhere on the sole of your right foot, like the middle of your sole of your right foot. And we'll turn to the right. Right hand behind you as a kickstand. Reach your left arm up. Inhale, and as you exhale, left hand to right knee. Begin to turn the ribs to the right, but turn your gaze and your head to the left. And find a sweet spot for your neck, a stretch. You can drop your chin towards your left armpit. And breathe here. As we start off in this shape, this twisting shape, we also drop down into our breath, into our bodies. Allow your breath to support the shape. So making sure you're taking a shape that allows you to settle into yourself and also architecturally creates more space for your breath and your life force to flow within you. Dropping that right shoulder. Allow it to be heavy for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lifting the chin. Bring your chin to center. And before we twist it to the right, bring your hands as you twist to the left. Counter twist here, sitting bones heavy. And look inward, round inward, maybe like a cat pose. Drop the shoulders. And breathe. For another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly make your way on up. And we'll switch sides. Sweep your legs and your feet to the right, right shin, the middle sole of your left foot, twisting to the left. So left hand behind you as a kickstand. Reach the right arm up for length. Place the right hand on the left knee. As you twist your ribs to the left, turn your head and your gaze to the right. Broaden through the collarbones. And if you like, dropping your chin towards your right armpit. Allow the sitting bones to be heavy and your breath to be full. Breathing into the physical perimeters of your being. Also, as you slightly drop your chin, bowing inward, allow this to be an opportunity to soften the space in between your ears as you drop your breath and your awareness downward into your body. During challenging times, especially now, we try to think our way, wrap our head around certain situations. Begin to soften, allow the space in between your ears to settle, to slow down. 2 more full but not forceful cycles of breath. And slowly lifting your chin, turn your chin to the center of your chest. Now let's counter twist the other way. If you want a slight rounding inward, get a little bit more puffy through that back body. And breathe, soften your face and your eyeballs. Another 3, 2, and 1. Slowly releasing. Make your way onto your hands and knees. We'll do cat-cow, a non-traditional way. So we'll separate the head, the movement of the head, from the rest of the spine and the pelvis. So as you come into your cow pose, right, you're melting the spine downward, melting the heart, let the head drop, shoulders soften from the ears. And then the opposite, cat-like spine, but lift the back of the skull slightly. You're doing the opposite of what you normally do between your head and the rest of your spine and pelvis. So cow, drop the head, round, and lift the back of the skull. Nice to mix things up for the nervous system. Also exploring spaciousness, potential movement possibilities. And feel free to linger anywhere in those shapes that feels more curious. You may feel like you need more time to marinate and breathe into. Let's do 2 more, each variation. We're trying to balance out our habitual patterns of moving or not moving, as the case being at a desk, cross training for the cultural cages or our linear modern day living. Now feel free to move in any way that feels more like you. Speaking of breaking out of our self-made cages or cultural cages, move in any way that feels more like you. Wag your tail, maybe tuck your toes under. Meeting hands and knees. Curl your toes under. Round the spine and drop your head. Bring your hips back. 2 more times like that, rhythm of your own breath. Inhaling. Exhaling, round, hips back. 1 more time. Round. Stay with the hips back, couple cycles of breath for 3, 2, 1. Slide the hands back and roll it up. Have a seat on your heels. If this is too intense for you, it does have the name toe breaker pose, then you can shift the weight more forward or at any time standing up on your knees. We'll explore the wrist. We'll take like a reverse prayer pose. You're gonna flip the thumbs away from you so the pinkies will be closer towards your chest and thumbs away. Best you can, press the back of your hands together and then keep the connection of the back of the hands together. Lower your wrists down, only as far as you keep the back of your hands together. For another 3, 2, 1. Slowly releasing. Stand up on your knees and roll around the edges of your hands, the outline of your hands, like a dancing lotus flower. Switch directions, other way. And keep toning the underside, the bottom fibers of your glutes. And now you have an option to keep those toes curled under. Release your arms, lower the hips, sweep the arms up, inhale, and as you exhale, right elbow underneath the left elbow. And then lift the elbows up, lift the back of the heart up. Exhale, round inward. So we're freeing up our back body, our wings. Let's circle. Bottom right corner with the elbows, top right corner. To the left and down 2 times. Each direction. This area tends to get pretty sticky throughout the day. And your chin can follow the circling, the direction of your elbows. We'll meet center. Standing up on your knees, free your arms. You can untuck your toes if you like. Lower the hips if that's okay for you. Heels, hips to heels. Left elbow underneath. Lift the elbows up, lift the back of the heart, almost like you are coming into a cow-like spine, and then exhale, rounding inward like a cat spine. Puff up the space in between your shoulder blades, so your shoulder blades are separating. And then 2 to 3 times circling, starting with the left side this time. Relaxing your face and your eyeballs. Hanging out at any points of the circle that need extra attention. Lift your hips up, reach the arms up, and lower your arms down. And hands to your thighs. Slide your hands forward. Come onto hands and knees. Separate the knees and the feet hip width. Circle your ankles. Sparkle your toes. Placing the tops of the feet down or curl the toes under. Walk your hands back. You may need to change this up according to what intensity is good for you today. Fingertips spin to the edges of the mat or towards your knees. Circle the entire body, your entire body to the right and back. Heels of the hands lift a little. Circle to the left. Heels of the hands land as you come forward. 2 more times like that. Rhythm of your own breath. This one's great for anyone who works on the computer desk, switch directions, or life in general. One more time. Bring it to center, fingertips forward. For less intensity, hands and knees closer together. Flip onto the back of your hands, and you could do one at a time. So one at a time, or both hands, shoulders from your ears. Press down through the thumb side and pinky side as evenly as you can, and then make fist about 8 times. So if you're doing one at a time, 4 on each side, soften your faces, soften your face. And as mindfully as you can, peel your hands away as you stand on your knees. Circle the wrists. Shake, shake, shake. Maybe even your face. Hands and knees again. Onto all fours. Bend your elbows slightly to the side. So your wrists are below your shoulders, elbows slightly to the side. And scoop. You hug like a giant beach ball in between your elbows as they hug in, then straighten your arms. Press down through the top of the left foot, left knee. Reach your right leg back, belly and ribs in. Find your teeny tiny circles here, teeny tiny circles with your right leg. Make sure you're not dumping into your left hip. Another 3, 2, 1. Place your right foot to the right, just off the mat. Do a push-up variation, or rather a plank variation. Press the ground away, belly and ribs in. Left ankle, place it over, tap it over your right ankle. And left knee down, and reach the right leg back. Some pockets of fire, right foot to the right, left ankle over right. Lower the left knee down, and reach back. About 5 more times like that. Rhythm of your own breath. 2, 3 more. Belly and ribs in. About 2 more. Keep on breathing. And 1 more. Slowly releasing. Standing up on your knees. Swing the arms side to side. Let that go. Rinse cycle. Before we transition to the other side, hands and knees. Bend the elbows wide, scoop them in. Press the ground away, belly and ribs in. Back of the skull long, left leg reaches back. Press the top of the right foot down. Outer right hip back. Teeny tiny circles. Teeny tiny circles. For 3, 2, and 1. Left foot to the left. Tap the right ankle over the left. Right knee down and left leg back. Left foot to the left, right ankle. Lower the right knee down. Try not to collapse. 5 more, about 5 more. Rhythm of your own breath. The best you can. You're pressing the ground away even as you lower the right knee down. So can you lower down without collapsing? Lowering down with control. About 2 more. The breath support you. And 1 more. Both knees to the ground. Stand on your knees. Swing the arms side to side. Nice work. All right. Pockets of fire. Reconnect to the breath. Hands and knees again. Walk your wrists slightly in front of your shoulders. Bend the elbows slightly to the side. Scoop the elbows in towards each other. Straighten the arms. Curl the toes under. Keep those active arms and strong foundation in your hands. Downward facing dog. Lifting the hips up and back. Now we take our right fingertips to the ground and lift your right leg up. Turn the left side of your pelvis to the right. So that will help open up the hips. Now bend the right knee, right heel in towards your bottom. Hug that right heel in towards your bottom. Keep dropping your tailbone to the front plane of the body for 3, 2, 1. Bending the left knee, and in your next exhale, step your right foot forward. Spin your back foot flat. Heel to arch alignment. Reverse warrior, tilting back. So your inner body, your torso, your belly, ribs are facing the long edge of the mat. And keep lunging through that front knee and lift that right frontal hip point and breathe into the spaces in between your ribs, especially on that right side for 3. Strong standing back leg, 2, and 1. Upright, left hand, the left hip. Walk your left foot forward. Shift the weight into your right foot and hug the right elbow into your side body as you make your way into a variation of a hovering, and maybe dancing, half moon. Firm that outer right hip in. Reach through the left heel and then lengthen best you can both sides of your body, your spine forward. And breathing here, lengthening both sides of your body forward for 3, 2, and 1. Bending through the right knee, reach back for the landing, warrior 2. Straighten out the front leg, triangle pose. Right hand, top of right shin, left arm to the sky. Now look down to the inside of your right foot. Now energetically press your right fingertips into your right shin and press down and pull in towards you energetically to help lengthen both sides of your waist. Keep pressing down to the mound of the right big toe. Finding length through the side body here, using the resistance between your fingertips of your right hand and your right shin to create more length through the sides of your body so you're not dumping or collapsing. Sides of the waist back, and breathe for 3, 2, 1. Bend to the front knee, warrior 2. Straighten out through the front leg and bring your toes in and heels out in the change directions. Toes in, heels out. Standing on your feet. So press as if you're making a deeper imprint of your feet into the ground as you take your hands and lift to the sides of your body. Maintain that lift to the sides of the body. Fold forward, hinging at your hips. Bring your hands down to the ground about shoulder width. It's below your shoulders or maybe further back. Now bend both knees. Keep the knees behind your toes best you can. Reach your hips back, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine. And on your next exhale, deeper imprint of your feet into the ground. As you bend the elbows back, lengthen the legs, shifting the weight slightly forward, shoulders from the ears. Right, so make sure you're not dumping back into the heels. Right, shifting the weight slightly forward, but still strong through the legs and pressing the hands down energetically and forward. Belly and ribs soften in. Let the head go. You can even shake the head out, yes and no. Let the contents of your brain, your thoughts drip down to the ground. Another 3, 2, and 1. Halfway lift, press down through hands and feet. Walk your hands to the original front of the mat and step it back into down dog. Feel free to take a high to low push-up if you want. Right, you can lower down, coming into locust pose or cobra up dog. And then downward facing dog. We meet. Left fingertips tent up. Left leg lifts. Firm and turn your right side of your pelvis to the left. We'll initiate the opening from the bottom hip, then bend the left knee, left heel in towards your bottom. Drop your tailbone to the front plane of your body so you're not dumping into your lower back. May direct the stretch more to the front of the thigh for 3, 2, and 1. Bending the right knee on your exhale, stepping your left foot forward. Back foot spins flat, heel to arch alignment. Reverse warrior. First, finding your feet. Find your feet and breathe into the spaces in between your ribs to accommodate a fuller, more nourishing breath, and allowing the ribs, the space in between the ribs, to become more supple, allowing the ribs to expand as the lungs expand for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly make your way on up. Right hand to right hip. Flip left palm up. Walk your right foot forward until you're able to shift weight into your left leg. Bend the left elbow in and dance your way into a half moon variation. You don't have to come so far down. Lengthening through the spine and the back of the skull. I'm going to readjust here. It's all good to dance. Bending that bottom knee might help you get more grounded and accepting the support of your breath. Balancing is about responding, and we can't respond from a rigid place. Allow the breath to move freely within you and to support you for 3. Lengthen both sides of your waist. 2, and 1. Reach back for the landing with the right leg. Warrior 2, we land. And triangle pose. Straightening out that front leg. Hinging at the left hip crease. Left hand higher up on your left shin than you normally would. Straightening the right arm. Look down to start off. Create resistance between your left hand and your left shin. So you're pressing left fingertips. Press left fingertips down and a little bit in and up to possibly create more length the size of your body. If you feel like you need to lower the hand a little bit further down, go for it. But the intention for this variation today is to create length through the sides of the body, not to see how far you could come down with that bottom hand. Right, bringing the pelvis slightly forward, especially the middle of the left seat. The gaze could be down or forward, whatever feels best for you. Support from the strength of your legs and your breath. Lengthen the sides of the body to accommodate, to architecturally create more space for yourself, for your breath. For 3, 2, and 1. Warrior 2, as you bend through that front knee and straighten out the front leg. Parallel your feet. Interlace your hands behind your back. For this variation, bend your elbows slightly. I'll turn around for you to see. Press your thumbs into your sacrum. Lift your armpits. Roll the collarbones open. And keep that. Energetically pull your hands apart. You begin to feel more broadening through the collarbones. Make sure those ribs aren't popping out. Soften back in. And as you keep energetically pulling your hands apart, lift the thumbs slightly a little from your back body. And from there, begin to squeeze your arms towards straight. Keep the legs strong as you hinge at your hips and fold forward. Let your head go. Strong legs. Shift the weight slightly forward into your toes, towards your toes rather. and pull up from your inner knees to your inner groins as you press to the outer edges of your feet. Breathing here. Full, nourishing, supportive breath. 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release your hands to the ground. Halfway lift, press down to the ground so get more buoyant. And exhale, walk your hands to the original front of the mat, downward dog, or high to low push-up. Taking whatever flow you need. Even pause in your up dog, wag your tail a little bit. Downward facing dog, we'll meet. Lift the heels, bend the knees a couple times on your inhale, and on your out breath, your exhale, lengthen the legs, press the hands down and forward, and lengthen your spine. 2 more times, inhale, breathe into the sides of the ribs, exhale, lengthen. 1 more, inhale, and exhale. Lower down to your knees. We'll do something similar we did in the very beginning. First, bend the elbows slightly to the sides, hug the elbows in, straighten the arms. Keeping those actions, belly and ribs in, right leg reaches back, teeny tiny circles, another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Right foot to the right again. Lower down onto your left elbow, right elbow will bend slightly, and tap left ankle over right. And reverse it, left knee down, left hand down, right leg lifts. Let's do that about 3 more times, actually 4 more times. 4 more times, about left knee down, left hand down, right leg lifts. Rhythm of your own breath. So maybe about 3, 4 more. Unhurried and unrushed. And a little bit of everything on this move. Powerful and efficient. About 1 to 2 more. And release. Stand up on your knees. If you need a little sway side to side, go for it. Switching sides, hands and knees, all 4s. Right leg reaches back, outer right hip back, belly and ribs in. Teeny tiny circles for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Left leg to the left, lower down to your right elbow, right ankle over left. How about 4 to 5 more times? Own breath. Own breath. Keep on breathing. Drama tends to bubble up when we forget to breathe. And 1 more. Standing on both knees. Sway your arms side to side. Downward facing dog. Taking your time to set up your foundation. Pedal it out. Lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward. High lunge. As many steps as you need. Press that right heel down. Bend that left knee as much as you need to lift your frontal hip points up and begin to feel a stretch in the front of the left thigh. Breathing here. Press through the right heel for stability. Hug those outer hips in towards each other. Soften the ribs in, soften your eyeballs, soften your face. Bring your hands to your heart, and we twist to the right. Left elbow outside of right thigh, but without collapsing. Press down through the right heel. Follow the back foot, lift the top of left thigh bone up. Now press left elbow down and lift your heart up to your thumbs. So your thumbs are not hanging out in your armpit. Breathing. Okay, finding your power, the path through the feet, and then this pause as you find and honor your breath. Broadening through the collarbones for 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release hands to the ground. Lower both, or rather your back knee down. Keep your left hand on the ground. Open your right arm up. Gaze could be wherever you like. Finding a place where you feel openness from the bottom of your right armpit to the top of the right shoulder, to the collarbone. If it feels good, you can allow that right knee to fall to the right if that's what it wants to do. Playing with your gaze. Breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Mindfully as you can, releasing. Down dog or a high to low push up. Lift the left leg up. Stepping your left foot forward. Find your high lunge here. Press to the feet. Reach the arms up. Bend the back knee as much as you need to feel the frontal hip points lifting up towards your ribs, and soften the ribs down. Right, so you can find a place where you feel, a position where you feel the stretch in the front of the right hip. Press to the left heel from those outer hips into each other. Breathing. Even though we're holding a pose, there's still an undercurrent of breath and movement. Bring your hands to your heart. You can lengthen the back heel back as you lengthen the spine forward and twist. Right elbow outside of left thigh. Press the left heel down. Press the ball of the right foot down. Lift the top of the right thigh bone up. And press the right elbow into the left knee, the two together. Lift your heart up to your thumbs. So again, your thumbs are not hanging out in your left armpit. Breathe. Another 3. Full cycles of breath. You might do a little dancing. 2. And 1. Both hands to the ground, back knee down. Right hand stays on the ground, our fingertips, left arm up. And playing around with the angle of your left arm. Broaden through the left shoulder, the left side of your chest. For another 3. 2. Let the left knee fall to the left if that's what it wants to do. And 1. Slowly releasing. Both hands to the ground. Step it back, down dog. 1 more. High to low push up if that's what you need. And then downward facing dog. We will meet. Lower down to your knees. And cross at your ankles. Come onto your bottom. Scoot your bottom to your heels for some floating bridges. Arms at your sides, palms facing down. Press to the outline of your feet. Lift your hips up, reach your arms overhead. Exhale, lower your arms, lower your hips. Be mindful that you're lifting from your heels and your hips, not from the ribs. Belly and ribs stay soft to the back body as you flow upward. And as you flow downward, and you're using your heels and your glutes and the support of your core to control the movement, especially downward. do 2 more. And 1 more. Good. This time, keep your arms down and hold on to the outer edges of the mat as you press to the outline of your feet. Lift your hips up. And knuckles now turn, flip them underneath the mat and snuggle your shoulder blades closer into the back of your heart. Notice what's going on with the ribs. And now energetically pull the mat apart as you lift your hips up without over efforting yourself out of the pose. So belly and ribs soften down. Energetically press your heels into the ground, pull them towards your hips and lengthen your knees forward. Stay here. Or interlace your hands underneath your hips as you begin to lengthen the arms, snuggle shoulder blades closer into the back of the heart. Press the wrists down, the fists down. Press the elbows down, the shoulders down, the roof of the mouth down for 3, 2, 1. Keep your hands as they are and lower your hips down onto your forearms. This could be a nice little stretch for your forearms, which work hard for you if you work at the computer or the desk. Breathe fully into the sides of your body and the back body. Slowly press down through the feet. Lift your hips enough to slide your arms out from underneath. Let your knees rest in towards each other. And you can place one hand to the heart, one to your belly. Let your breath settle. Release your arms at your sides. Slowly windshield wiper your legs side to side, pausing to the side in which your knees are falling. So you can have a moment or two to notice sensations maybe in the front of one of your thighs, your hips, slowly, slowly, unhurried, unrushed. One more time, each side. Lower your knees to the right. We could stay here. Slide your left foot to the left until left thigh bone is straight out from your left hip. Stay here. Or right ankle crosses over left thigh bone. Arms could sweep overhead or bend the elbows. Opposite hand to opposite tricep. Flexing your left foot, your left ankle. And with each exhale, pit of your abdomen in and towards your head. One more full cycle of breath. Slowly releasing, no rush. Arms to the side, uncross the ankle, knees to center. Fall, the knees fall to the left. If it's okay, left ankle over right thigh. Sweep the arms up. Other forearm on top. You can remember which one, it's okay if you don't. Usually it's the more awkward side. Belly and ribs, soften down. And breathe. Begin to enter a space of non-doing, just as important as all the doing. Next exhale, slowly releasing, uncross, knees to center, feet together, right knee over the right hip and left knee meets it. Arms straight out in a T, side to side. Lowering the knees only as far as the back of the shoulders are heavy to the ground. Let the knees fall to the right. You could place a bolster or a block in between your knees for more support. Looking at your left fingertips, curl the left fingertips in, bend the left elbow, and then slide your left hand across your chest, all along your right arm, and reach past your right fingertips, and then do a big floppy circle around. 2 more times like that. Curl it in, eyeballs follow your fingers, big floppy circle around, and 1 more. Curl it in, reach, and a big floppy circle around. Couple cycles of breath here. Option, right hand rests heavy on your left thigh. And slowly releasing, arms to the side, belly and ribs to the ground as you bring your knees to center. And we switch sides. Knees to the left, look to the right, curl the fingertips in, slide across your chest, reaching past the left fingertips, big floppy circle around. 2 more times. Slide across your chest, give yourself some love. And around. And 1 more. Reach. Pause here. Option, left hand, outer right thigh, and breathe. Accepting the support of the ground and your breath. And slowly releasing, knees to center. Give yourself a big hug of gratitude for investing this time on your mat. Feel free to take any other posture you need. You could go right into Shavasana, stay there as long as you need. If not, roll on over to whatever side calls for you. Pause there. With awareness, comfortable seated position. Come on up. Eyes could be closed or soft gaze as you overlap your hands on top of your heart. Think of one thing in your life that you are grateful for, no matter how big or small. We'll end together one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Keep your heart lifted, exhale high. And as always, gratitude for practicing together. May it all be a benefit to us and everybody else around us. Namaste.